Hello there and welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash and I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. Now of course it is my pleasure to receive communication from you viewers, you subscribers who write to me with some of your sartorial conundrums, and every so often I do like to make a video where I will take one of the questions which I've received and turn it into perhaps a learnable situation for all of us. And just such a situation has occurred. I've received an email from a gentleman called Valentin, and he says, "Dear Ash, excuse my poor English, it's not my mother tongue." Well, you speak better English than I do any other language, so you're doing pretty well. Let me give you an idea of my situation and the problems I'm facing regarding style. I am a teenager from Germany and I have discovered an interest in classic men's style. Suits, ties, fine leather shoes, they just feel natural and comfortable for me, and I would like to slowly but steadily shift my wardrobe from casual, usual clothing of my age group to a smart business casual idea for everyday life. Young man, if you're a teenager and you're having these thoughts, you're doing very well. You're 20 years ahead of the majority of your contemporaries. You're going to get a jump on them. Congratulations. I will be able to manage well with my budget since my city is somewhat of an eBay mecca inside of Germany. But the main problem I will likely face is acceptance from my family and peers. I am positive that this problem will settle with time, but I would be happy to hear of some of your thoughts on dressing well and, in my opinion, in an overly casual environment. Furthermore, I'm bound to the problem of space for clothing, since I'm obviously still living at home, so the challenge is to make the most of a small number of garments. I would love to hear some of your advice on this matter. And Valentin, I would love to give you some tips that will be helpful to you. There's two questions there. The first one is, how do you cope with people's opinions when you're going to be dressing differently from your contemporaries? And it is a tough one to answer because, I don't really know of your situation as such, but let me tell you the situation that most people who dress well face in the modern era. And that is that most of the people we encounter are casually dressed. All right, I live in a big town, nearly 100,000 people. If I were to stand in the middle of the high street in the busy shopping area of my town today, I would likely only see one or two men walking past me wearing a shirt and tie, and they would be likely people in later life or business people going to work. So the truth is, those of us who choose to take a classical approach to the way that we dress are going to stand out from the crowd. Now, it is fair to say that many of us dress that way for that purpose, because we want to stand out from the herd, right, who are all dressed in this modern interpretation of hyper-casual clothing. My thoughts to that is, well, I've taken a conscious choice to dress well. All I'm doing, generally, is wearing a shirt with a collar, a tie, maybe a jacket, or, in the winter time, maybe an overcoat instead of a puffer jacket. These are only small little incremental changes to the way in which you dress. Instead of wearing, the quintessential trousers of the modern era, the jeans, the denim jeans, just wear chinos instead. This will elevate you several steps above the ordinary folk who are out there dressing, to the lowest possible common denominator of style, and you will slowly but surely elevate the way that you dress above everybody else. Don't be conscious about it. Think about the reasons why you're choosing to dress differently to others, and be that your motivating factor. Let that be the thing that spurs you on. That when you're in a crowd of people, you are always the best dressed man in that room. And if nothing can inspire you to put on a collar and tie and a jacket more than that, that's all that you'll need. So stick with it. You've made a great decision to be an intentionally well-dressed man, the expression that I use all the time, an intentionally well-dressed person. You're not getting dressed up to go to a wedding or a special event. This is the way we choose to dress every day, and the impact that we make on others is something to behold. So be grateful you've got that mindset, and please keep that motivation going. Dress well. It will pay off, I can assure you. However, your second question is you're going to manage well with your budget using eBay. That's fantastic. That's exactly what I do. I purchase the items I need through eBay generally because that's a great place to get some amazing bargains. And I've had some this week. I had some great bargains this week. But you do say you are bound to the problem of space because you live at home, and as a consequence, you've got limited closet space, I guess. Well, the fact is this is an issue for all of us. If you are somebody who enjoys dressing well, you will be a hoarder, an acquirer of clothing, and it takes up a lot of space. But that need not be the case. You can formulate a lean wardrobe, a wardrobe which is not bloated with numerous items. And I've made a list here of the must-have items which I think will fit into any person's lean wardrobe and will set you up to what life will throw at you as that intentionally well-dressed man that you aspire to be. Now, my number one item that I think every well-dressed man should have in his wardrobe, regardless of how lean or large his wardrobe is a suit, or possibly a blazer. But we'll talk about the suit first of all, because it depends on your lifestyle. But regardless of how informal our society is becoming, a suit will always be needed for those high points in your life, those occasions where you want to celebrate and you want to look your smartest by wearing, a matching suit, a shirt and a tie. Those occasions like weddings, your successes in work, your Nobel Prize investitures, all of these situations, you're going to need a suit. Equally, the low points in your life, court appearances, funerals, job interviews, you're going to need a suit. So I would suggest, as a minimum, in your wardrobe, you will have a single-breasted suit cut in a classical style, which will be either navy in colour or charcoal grey in colour, because those two colours will pretty much cover you for any business and formal situation, any wedding, any other event, because it's the accessories which you place with that suit which will indicate its level of formality or informality, and they can be worn universally across the situations there. Now, if your lifestyle is such that you can't really see yourself ever in one of those situations, firstly, I feel a little sorry for you. Let's have some ambition. I'm sure we can do it. But if you want to sort of downgrade it a little, the navy blazer, right? I'm wearing one right now. It is the catch-all garment for a gentleman who perhaps is uncertain of what life is going to throw at him, and he wants to have some sartorial insurance in the wardrobe. The navy blazer, as I'm wearing it today, semi-formally, I'm wearing a blue shirt, a simple tie. This is good enough to wear to work. Any business situation, to be honest, worn with some sort of chino or grey flannel slacks, this is going to cover you. This is all you will need in the environment in this modern era, where even chief executives of blue chip companies don't even wear ties. This will cover you for pretty much anything. So that navy blazer is perfect. When you get invited to the in-laws to have Sunday dinner and you want to dress up smartly, the navy blazer with an open collared shirt, informal enough to wear to those situations where you just want to stand out from the crowd. So you're always going to need one. A navy blazer or a simple suit has got you covered. Okay, so we have a suit. Now the second item, which I recommend you must have in your wardrobe, is a white dress shirt, because a white dress shirt is the absolute chameleon of the shirt world. They're modestly priced, you don't have to pay much money for it, and if you've got one white dress shirt in your wardrobe, you're covered for all of the situations that shirt will rise to the occasion for. So let's just think about it. You've got that suit now that we've just talked about in the wardrobe. What colour shirt do you wear with your suit? Well, if you wear a white shirt, you are covered for everything. Whether you're going to a wedding, a funeral, a court appearance, or collecting your Nobel Prize, you've got the right coloured shirt, because white goes with everything. It depends on the tie that you pair it with, which will determine the sort of level of formality that you're dressing for, So white is a great colour to go. It's also a great colour informally. All right, so you wear a white shirt open at the collar with any suit, with any blazer, it's going to be appropriate. Perhaps patterned and coloured shirts, they're more difficult to marry up with things, but the white shirt is perfect. You take your jacket off, you roll up the sleeves, you untuck the shirt. Now, I'm not saying that's a look that I ever go for, but I see lots of men walking around with untucked shirts with their sleeves rolled up. The white shirt goes with everything. Goes with any colour of chino trouser. Even if you're wearing shorts and you've chosen that shirt option, it's going to look appropriate. It's going to look fine in the warm time of year because white is perfect in the sun. It's also good in the winter when you're pairing it with layered clothing because, as I say, white doesn't argue with any colour. It's the ultimate neutral colour. And if we want to go at the very end of formality, do you know what? If you need a white shirt to go with your dinner jacket, I know you should wear a Marcella shirt or some sort of fancy shirt with your dinner jacket, but if you don't have one of those, let's be honest, we're trying to keep a lean wardrobe here, as minimum items as we can. You can press that white shirt into service with your dinner jacket and it's not going to look too bad. Nobody really pays attention to the shirt when you're wearing dinner attire. They look at the other items. So the white shirt is the colour of shirt to go for, and it's the one item that you have to have in your wardrobe. Now, the next thing which I suggest will be a valuable addition to your lean wardrobe is knitwear. Quality knitwear, all right? Because there'll be an occasion where you want to dress up smart, but it's in the cooler time of year. Perhaps a blazer, a jacket that you have in your lean wardrobe is a little too formal. A lovely V-necked sweater is perfect. You can wear a tie with it, you can wear your collar open, but it is that fine balance between looking quite formal and quite casual. It's also something you can wear around the home, so it's worth investing in something like a cashmere or merino wool sweater. Choose a colour which you know is going to marry well with all your other clothing. So something like a blue or a beige or a fawn colour or even a pink colour. These carry very nicely across the whole spectrum of clothing. Now, if you like wool, and I certainly do, wool is absolutely an item which I include as a material in my wardrobe. Shawl collared cardigan can be an alternative for a blazer, and it's perfect for keeping warm in the winter at home as well, when you're just chilling around the house, but you want to look smart and feel lovely and snuggly. Wool is always the place to go. So a piece of nice knitwear, as a minimum, a V-neck jumper, but think possibly a cardigan as well. You won't go too far off the mark to be that intentionally well-dressed man that you know you can be. Now, number 4 in my lean wardrobe collection, it's got to be footwear, right? However casual a chap that you are, you might wear sneakers most of the time, but you're going to need some nice shoes. And I suggest that your lean collection should be comprised of at least 2 pairs of shoes. They are perhaps the obvious, but the black cap-toe Oxford. Now, this is a shoe which will pair perfectly with that suit that you have. Black goes with everything, all right? So whether you've got a navy suit or a charcoal grey suit, it's going to look fine. It's going to be smart. You can polish it up. You can get a nice glossy shine on the toe cap. It's going to be perfect for weddings or any of those other formal situations. It might be a little formal really for the casual side of things, but that's where you're going to need the next shoe. And my suggestion is a brown brogue. Well, I say brown, equally perhaps a burgundy or an oxblood, but brown is probably the most obvious colour to go with, and the brown brogue allows you to change up the style of your suit, your blazer as well, because you can press that brown brogue into service with grey flannel slacks, chinos of pretty much any colour. Even with your navy or grey suit, the brown brogue is perfect, but it reduces the level of formality. So you become quite casual, and it allows you to extend the wearability of those formal clothes just by adding a pair of shoes, which alters the level of formality. It's as simple as that. And the brown brogue as well has the advantage, you can wear it with chinos, if you're just wearing a shirt and chinos, or you can even wear it with jeans in certain situations. So those two shoes, the black cap-toe Oxford, has you covered for the more formal side of life, day to day, going to work, going to the office, dressing smart for special occasions. And that brown brogue alters up everything else in the wardrobe. It provides a different spectrum of formality for the clothes which are interchangeable with those black cap-toe Oxfords. So 2 shoes is all you need. Now if you want to go nuts, right, once you get into the shoe world, it can be a dangerous thing. You just keep buying and buying. A pair of boots won't go far wrong, particularly in the winter time. Get yourself a brown sort of dress boot, or maybe a chucker boot in brown again. All of the situations we just talked about are covered with the shoes, but also a little bit more wearable in the winter months. And if you have a day night or a rubber sole, you're pretty much covered for anything which will come your way, regardless of the season that you find yourself in. Now, as an intentionally well-dressed man, you will quickly understand the value and the importance of your accessories, because they change the entire perspective of the clothes that you're wearing. So, you need to invest in a few accessories. You don't need that many, but things like ties. You are going to need a small collection of ties. I'm going to suggest 5 to 10 ties, because pick nice, strong, solid colors. So a red tie, a blue tie, maybe a black tie for those funerals that you may find yourself attending. Then add some texture as you get more confidence with your ties. You soon understand that the tie can alter the entire landscape of your clothing. So collect those ties, start with aiming for about 5 to 10, and then grow that collection as and when you feel that you're able to bring them into the rotation of your clothing. Don't forget, you don't have to pay big money. You can go to the thrift stores. You can buy them on eBay. You can pick up ties for pennies. So don't let, and they, of course, they'll never take up a lot of space, and you're never going to gain so much weight that your tie isn't going to fit. It's going to be something you can wear for life. So choose carefully, and your tie will always be there for you. Now, another accessory which I heartily recommend, the good old pocket square. Again, it's an item you buy once and it's with you for life. It's never going to wear out. It's never going to be too small to wear. Collect a small collection of pocket squares and you will always be that smart chap with a little bit of colour around the edges of your clothing. If you're not confident with pocket squares, get that white cotton handkerchief that you've got in the bottom of the sock drawer. A simple straight fold in your pocket square is all you need, and you will already be elevated above the 85% of men out there who never put anything in their breast pocket in their suit. You will look better than them just with that simple white pocket square. And then look at the other accessories which are potentially there, which will alter the way that you look. You need a pair of gloves for the winter, but choose a pair which are stylish. Go for leather with a nice colour. Scarves alter the look of your outer clothing during the winter months in the same way that a tie does with your formal clothing. So, build a little collection of scarves. Again, they don't take up much space and they're always going to be there. They don't go out of fashion. They always look good. Things like, your belt, your watch strap, things like that. You can start to play around with your accessories as you get more confidence and perhaps a bit more money. But as a minimum, you need some ties, some pocket squares, scarf, things like that. And you will be covered for so many situations because of those accessories which change your look. Now, my tip number 6 for your lean wardrobe is I'm going to talk about casual clothes, because let's be honest, a man who dresses purely in shirts and ties is going to look out of place in modern society. You are going to need some clothes for the non-formal parts of your life. I'm not without this as a mindset. I don't dress like this all the time, but you can apply the same principles of classical attire to your casual clothing. Now, jeans, for instance, the sort of catch-all clothing that all men wear below the waist. But the truth is, I only own a single pair of jeans because I choose chinos as my casual trouser of choice, because the chino is equally as comfortable as the jeans. They come in all different colours, so you can alter your chinos for your mood and the situation that you're going into, yet they elevate you above the jean-wearing population. Now, that's not to say I don't agree with wearing jeans, it's just that I've come to a point in my life where I prefer to wear something a little more formal. But jeans, well, that's a whole subgenre within the sartorial world. The only thing I would say about jeans is that fit is everything, all right? It doesn't matter whether you've paid £250 for a designer pair of jeans or £15 for a pair of jeans from a bargain basement outlet. The fact is, it's how they fit you which will determine how they look. So, make sure you've got a pair of jeans that fits well. And if they don't fit well, get them tailored. The tailoring process is equally as valid for your casual clothing as it is for your formal clothing. So don't be afraid to get things tailored, even if it's jeans. And finally, my last tip for your lean wardrobe is an overcoat. All right, an overcoat is really important because this is the way that for half the year, depending where you live, I live in the UK, so half the year it's either autumn or winter, it's a cooler time of year, you tend to wear outer clothing. This is the way that people will first see you. They don't see that you're wearing a suit if you're wearing something over the top of it. So choose a nice overcoat. It is so much more stylish and elegant than the performance gear which many people tend to wear. So, sort of Gore-Tex Pro Shells and things like this. These are great if you're trekking the mountains. But day to day, when you're going to town or going out in the evening to meet friends in a restaurant, it's overkill. You don't need these performance items. An overcoat or a raincoat really sets off the way that you look and the other clothing that you wear. So if you're wearing a suit but you've got some sort of performance material jacket over the top, they're totally incongruous with each other. So pick up a nice overcoat. Again, doesn't have to be expensive. eBay is the perfect place, or thrift shops, to pick up overcoats. For pennies on the pound, you'll be able to get something which will be thick and warm, made of wool or cashmere, which will last for years and years. Go for something traditional, a single-breasted overcoat which goes below the knee, and you will be absolutely snuggly and warm. Don't forget, you can get them tailored if they don't fit perfectly when you buy them. And then you will cut a dash for those winter months. You will turn up to an occasion and you will be the best dressed man in the street. So think about that outerwear and choose carefully. So there we go, Valentin. I hope that my suggestions were of use to you. I think you'll agree, being an intentionally well-dressed man does not require an entire wardrobe full of clothing. That will come as you go through life and you acquire items. But when you're starting off, a small number of well-picked items are all that you need to create a collection of sartorial classics, which will absolutely mean that you are the best dressed man in any situation. And your contemporaries and peers will look at you and think, here's a man who knows how to take care of the details. He is dressed well, he is stylish, he looks better than us, he's going places. So there we go. Go out and use your newfound superpower of being an intentionally well-dressed man to change the world to positive effect. Now, I hope you've enjoyed this video today. If you have, of course, I would be delighted if you gave us a thumbs up. And if you're not a member of the Chap's Guide community, click the red button and join us as a subscriber. And if you would like to constructively help the channel, you can buy me a coffee. I will leave a link to the Buy Me a Coffee page for the Chap's Guide down in the description box below. So until the next time, whether you're dressing in a lean wardrobe way or you've got a bulging wardrobe like I have, wear your clothes with confidence and good health. And I look forward to seeing you again very soon.